Fruit juice, go!
Fruit juice is what you have when you take a bunch of fruits, you punch them with a spike, and then you have juice in a bowl. But when you take that fruit juice and you stir it up and then you evaporate it, then all you have left is sugar, and you pour that sugar on a plate, and then you dip regular fruits into it. So then you have like oranges and sugar, and that's what we just ate also. But you can also make it from fruit juice if you spike it and then evaporate it.
Game changer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Acorns, go! Acorns, squirrels love acorns because of the shell. And they realize that if you get a bunch of shells, you can make a boat. Because they float. You flip it upside down, it creates a buoyancy system. I'm not really sure how it works. I might have lied right now. I don't know. Alright, back to the squirrels and the acorns. They take the shell off, now you got the corn. The A is the corn. I don't know why they call them acorns. That's ridiculous. They don't even look like A's. If anything, they should be called V-corns because they're shaped like this. The point and they create... And you need more lettuce to make that corn. You can't just use an A. That's ridiculous. It's not an acorn. That pisses me off. That's probably pissed the squirrel off. That's why it's trying to eat it. I would eat something I don't like. I hate everything. If I don't like it, I'm gonna eat it. It doesn't make sense. The squirrel's confused as shit. It's like, why is it an acorn? That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make sense. The squirrel is angry. It's trying to eat it, and it's gonna kill. And eventually, the acorns are gonna revolt. They're gonna be like, we're tired of getting eaten. They're gonna become one giant corn. One big one. And they're gonna fight the squirrels. It's gonna be a revolution. Squirrel versus acorn battles. They're gonna create cannons. It's gonna shoot squirrels at the squirrels. It's gonna be very violent. It's gonna be violent. There's gonna be so many dead squirrels.
Couch pillows!
Couch pillows. Alright, couch pillows, a lot of times they have feathers on them. Feathers usually come from geese, and a geese kind of looks like a swan. And a swan, that kind of looks like a stork. A stork swoop down and they catch fish. But you know what else they do? They bring babies to your house. So chances are, if you buy new pillows, you might have a powder of a baby in there. Check that shit out before you use it, because you don't want to lay on a baby.
Don't kill the baby.
Windshield wipers, go!
Windshield wipers, you break them off, right? You give somebody else the other one. You start fighting. You battling it out. You battling the guy. You don't know who the guy is. He's made out of car windows. It's just crazy. So it's like you're trying to fight him, but you're gonna clean him. You're gonna end up cleaning him. He's got a lot of dirt on him. He doesn't want to be cleaned. He's a dirty person. He lives in a trash can like Oscar the Grouch. Not related, but they know each other. So now, still with the windshield wipers, boom, you find him, get stuck in between. Now you got an X. Now you take it away from him, and you put the X on him. He's X'd out. He's done, clean, done, dead.
That was crazy.
Cardboard cutouts.
Cardboard cutouts is like, you cut out a little piece of cardboard, you probably have a person, maybe sometimes you have a cookie. Maybe that person's gonna eat the cookie, we don't know. But if you take that cardboard cutout and you make it like gigantic size, like the size of Godzilla, now you have a cardboard cutout that can fight Godzilla, but it doesn't know how to move, so you gotta tie strings to it, you pull on the strings, now you gotta punch in a mannequin thing that you pull with strings, right? So you have this thing that's fighting Godzilla, but Godzilla breathes fire. He's gonna blow up your cardboard cutout, and he's also gonna cook the cookie.
Cookie cooked!
Parachutes, go!
Parachutes, alright, so you're on a parachute, you cut out the strings of the parachute, now you just have a blanket, you can put it to the back of your car, drag race people, you're gonna stop, you might keep going, who knows, but now, when you realize you're not even drag racing, you're just running next to your car, you're inside the car, but you're back outside, you open the window, you climb through the window, that's a hard, you gave me a hard one again,
Wax figurines.
Sometimes wax figurines, you gotta melt them down with a flame down through a puddle. And that puddle can go anywhere. It probably seeps into multiple different drains. They come out of the drain pipes, right? You open up a sewer, maybe you're walking over the top of the sewer. There's a sewer, you're just walking, it's a circle on the ground, you don't think anything of it. Bam! Wax figurine, regrows, boom, you got knocked off your feet. Now this wax figurine is attacking the whole city. What are you gonna do? You can't melt it, because then it just goes in the sewer again. Comes back up, this is a fucking hard one. Let's start this over.
Stools.
Stools, sometimes you sit on them just like this, bam. But sometimes you see a person, they're across the street, they're getting mugged. So you take the stool, bam, you break this off, now you got a leg. You take the leg, you start throwing them like spears. And then you hit the person right in the face with it, he's probably gonna pull it back out of his face, because who knows, he's crazy. So then if he pulls that back out of his face because he's crazy, you take this top part off, it's a disc. Throw that across the street, hit him right in the jugular, he's out, down, person saved, nobody got mugged. Boom.
Nobody got mugged. Pineapple chunks.
Pineapple chunks. Alright, a pineapple, first of all, we already been over this. It's like a piece of armor that a dragon wears. You take that dragon off. Now, if you got chunks of it, now you got little chunks of armor. You can use that like knee pads, elbow pads. So then, if you're on your roller skates or your skateboard, or maybe you just like to fall a lot, you fall on your elbows and knees all the time, like 100% of the day. So now you got pineapple chunk armor on your elbows and knees, and you're oh, that didn't hurt. No, nothing. Because you know what? I got spikes on my knees. The ground's hurt. It's got holes in the ground. And now there's holes in the ground. It kind of looks like a waffle. I can pour some syrup in here, and I can drink it out. There you go. Iron strips. Go.
Iron strips! You take a bunch of iron strips and you fucking find a scientist. That's what you do. You find a really good scientist and you get a metal welder and you get the scientist and you get the welder and you devise a plan. You devise a plan. They're going to build a tower out of the iron strips, and this tower is gonna make iron strips. It's a continuously growing tower. Never ends. You got the welder, you got the scientist. Eventually, you're making so many iron strips, your tower gets too big. You're going too high. You're gonna start arching the tower. Now it's becoming an arch. It's gonna get harder to build it down, of course. So you know what you get? You get a levee system, because you got the scientist. He knows a bunch of shit, right? He's a scientist, and he got scientist friends that know other scientific things, and they go help him out to figure out this levee system. And we got enough iron strips to support it all. We don't even need to. We make them. We don't need to pay for them. They're free. We got a great economic thing right now. We don't need the iron strips. We got the welder. We need the welding stuff, but we'll worry about that later. We'll figure out how to make money. So we got the iron strips. Eventually, we make a whole arch. That's one arch. One arch makes up half of McDonald's, but it's not golden, so it doesn't count.
Lampshades!
Lampshades, right now they shade the light, but what if you made that really big and you shaded the sun? Now it's all darkness, all the trees are dying because there's no light. But now, how are we gonna get back out in space? Because if you shaded the sun and you came back to Earth and now all the trees are dying, you're gonna want to get that off. But guess what? All this stuff is solar powered, because this is gonna happen in like 2000, maybe 35 or something. Everything's solar powered now. We don't have any sun to solar power stuff. Nothing's working. Nothing is working anymore. You can't fly a spaceship out into the sun when you don't even have sunlight to power your spaceship. The whole world is gonna die of darkness. Because the trees are dying, we can't breathe. If we can't breathe, how are we gonna eat food? If we can't eat food, how are we gonna drink water? Because the water is inside the food. If you take coconut and you break it open, sometimes there's milk or maybe water in there. We can't do that because we can't eat, because we can't breathe, because there's no sun, because it's all darkness, because you shaded it with a lampshade.
You fucked up. Vinyl records.
Vinyl records, they spin around and there's a needle in them, that makes music. But what if we took that vinyl record and we made it gigantic, and then we made waterways with it, and then instead of having a needle, we put boats in it. And those boats go in circles really fast, but there's cities, like, you know, on the up ridges, like there's down ridges, up ridges. On the up ridges there are cities, and there are ports in those cities. So you fly, or you drive, you sail the boats in the low ridges, they go in circles, they can get every single city all the way around to the very center. When they get to the very center, they're probably going to fall out of the record. They just fell off the planet if the planet was shaped like that. So now, alright, anyone who's a sailor has a very risky job. Alright, they're going to fall into a hole of darkness. Who knows where that hole goes? Probably into a black hole, which means they're probably going to come out. Maybe we can connect a black hole with one vinyl record and another one. So you go all the way around, giving stuff to all the cities, they drop through the hole, boom, black hole, they come out. Another one, they go back out. Now we have another problem, right? Because they're going to get out to the outside of the vinyl record at some point, and then they're just going to fly off into space. Probably not as bad as dying in a black hole, but they're just floating out in space. They're lonely.